I'm going to do an experiment here. As you know, the Ram has that grid heater, which can lose a bolt and drop into number 6 and destroy an engine. So my plan here is a little different. Instead of changing that whole grid heater and connection with something that's aftermarket, I decided to go with something that's a little easier to get at should it fails. I keep my vehicles for a long time, and I probably will keep this truck until I'm dead. So you can see the amount of soot that comes from the EGR. It's part of the nature of the beast. I'm going to clean that out before it all goes back together. But what I'm going to use is these different preheaters. They're electric. They draw about 40 amps a piece. They are a DIH4, bottom at CarQuest, probably for, I think, $125 a piece. And I made up the bungs that I'm going to TIG weld. This right here, it looks like a bushing, but it's actually a bung and a brass washer. I have a lathe, so that's how I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to put them in here. I've got to do a little bit of laying out first. I'm going to clean this up and take a look at what my options are to get these two heaters in there. The nice thing about these is if you do lose one, I can just spin it out. I don't have to take all this apart and go back with some really costly parts. That grid heater, looking even at Rock Auto, was in the $900 Canadian range, which still is, you know, considerable compared to spending roughly $300 for these two, and they're only going to be $150 a piece to change. So that's the idea. Hoping it's going to work, and chances are I'm not even going to touch that lug on the grid heater. I'm going to literally cut it off with a pair of side cutters or a cable cutter, and put a Y and 2 pieces of number 6 wire, press those on there, but I'll show that a little bit later. Well, this is the other end. You can see the grid heater. You can see the carbon sitting around it. I've got the vacuum cleaner out. I'm going to give this a good cleaning. I'm not going to go any farther than that. I don't even want to touch this grid heater any more than I have to. Like I said, the bolt is over here. I'm afraid to even put a socket on it in case that cracks it and causes it to shatter. I think when it comes time to switch it over, I'm just going to take my cable cutters and cut this right here and redirect the wire over to the new heaters and be done with it. And I'm just going to abandon this. I'll leave it in there, but I'm not going to do anything with it. As you can see, I've welded the bungs on for the heaters. For some reason, there's something on this manifold. It's got like a coating, almost like a thin silicone, which becomes problematic when you're trying to weld and clean it off. Not the easiest to weld, especially when you get into these deep areas where you have to put the tungsten out quite a ways. It's not the prettiest weld I've ever done, but all I want is these preheaters to be installed, and once it's on there, who's going to ever see it? So carrying on. So I have the part of this plenum manifold reassembled, and that's how the heaters look on either side. And if we look inside, we can see them here. I wondered about this one here. You know, it was the that goes up to it's the intake air temperature sensor, I believe, but even when the grid heaters are on, the heat from the grid heaters is going to come up anyhow, so I don't think it's going to matter, but we'll find out. That's how these things go. Well, I've got the manifold back on, or the intake plenum, and if you can see here, that's where the heaters are. And what I did was I actually just cut the other one off. A little bit hard to see here, but you can just see here. I just cut it off. I don't want to even mess with that. It wasn't wiggling. It was still tight, so I don't want to mess with it. And I've just abandoned it. It's still in there. And if we go around to this way, you can see where the other heater is on that side, and I've just taken a cable and that went directly to it. I've spliced it with a Y splice, and I've got two number 8 wires, one going to each of the heaters. I've got a little bit more connecting up to do, you know, plugs are hanging here and stuff's got to be connected, but apart from that, I think it's okay, and we'll see. Hopefully it won't put in a code. So in conclusion, I have done the install. I have not had any problems, does not blow any codes. I had heard that when using this one here, it only has, there's a plug in here for this heater. You will get a code because it's not showing the full ampacity when the preheat goes on the prior to starting. They do make a second heater, which is here. Now, Banks does make one now that has both of these heaters on either side and not in this bolt location. However, I haven't been able to find it. I've seen it on the Dave's Auto that they do have it. In my opinion, for what this is, I think it's a little pricey. You're looking at about $1,243 with the taxes. I bought the two heaters and made up the bungs, all for about $350 Canadian, taxes in. So you still have the same amount of labor, apart from the fact that I did not change this plate here. I probably will just make it up if it comes to that, but right now I've abandoned it, and I don't see issues. You will get more low-end performance because of the bigger opening here, but once the turbocharger goes into boost, it doesn't matter how small the opening is. It's looking at the absolute pressure on the manifold, and the turbocharger just ramps up to make sure that you have that much pressure in the manifold that it's demanding. So for me, this is a solution, and it's working fine.